Hi, welcome to my video on a relation is a function by the vertical line test. The previous video we defined a function by the definition. For each x there's exactly one y. But now I'm going to look at what we call the vertical line test. If a vertical line passes through 2 points of a relation, then the relation is not a function. In other words, the vertical line, any vertical line that you draw on a graph, if the vertical line passes through 2 points, it's not a function. If the vertical line passes through only 1 point, then it is a function. Here we go. Let's look at it, like some examples. Is the relation a function? Use the vertical line test. I'm not using the definition. So the vertical line test, I'm going to draw a vertical line. Here we go. Only 1 point. 1 point. I'm drawing many vertical lines, but notice they'll only intersect the line at 1 point. See? So you keep doing this all day. So this is a function. The relation is a function because the vertical line only passes through 1 point. The vertical line, or any vertical line, intersects the graph at 1 point. So it's a function. B, we have this ray and this ray. So if I draw a vertical line right now, right here, notice this vertical line up and down intersects this graph at this point and at this point. So this relation is not a function. It's not a function. Reason? Because the vertical line intersects the graph at 2 points. So that's 2, 3. And this point here is x is 2, y is -1. So it has 2 points. It's not a function, but the vertical line intersects at 2 points, and that means. And you also notice when it intersects, notice x is repeated. Going back to the definition, x is repeated, x is 2 each time. And also going back to the definition, that what? If you got 2 points that are on a vertical line, that means for each x you have exactly not 1 y, you have 2 y. So by definition, it's not a function. But if you're given a graph, the vertical line test, drawing the vertical line, you can tell right away, look, draw this one. Then it hits here and here on that vertical line, so it's not a function. So when you're given a graph, you can use the vertical line test, and it tells you right away. But the only thing is you got to name the 2 points where they intersect. Make sure. C, we have a looping curve here. We call it a parabola, but I'm not going to worry about that. And if I draw a vertical line here, there's only 1 point. If I draw this vertical line, it's 1 point. 1 point. 1 point right there. So I can draw all the vertical lines I want on this grid. What happens? It will only intersect the graph at 1 point. So yes is a function because the vertical line does not intersect at 2 points. Or you could say the vertical line intersects the graph at 1 point. Again, ask your teacher. Should you say the vertical line intersects the graph at not at 2 points or only at 1 point? Ask your teacher to make sure. D, we have a ordered pair, but we want to do it by the vertical line test. So we plot the point 1, 2, x is 1, y is 2 is that point. 1, 3, x is 1, y is 3 is that point. X is 3, y is -1, x is 3, y is -1 is right there. And you notice we have these 2 points here. So we draw a vertical line. It intersects, the vertical line intersects these 2 points. So no, it's not a function. It's not a function. Why? Because the vertical line intersects the intersects at 2 points. So it's not a function. So we'd say it intersects at 2 points, just like this. So keep that in mind, a vertical line test when you have a graph. Or if you look at, if you have a choice, if you plot a graph and draw the vertical line, then it intersects at 2. But notice x is 1, x. So if you had this in another question, you could say x repeats. Or you could say when x is 1, y is 2 and 3. So you have different choices when you have ordered pair. But when you have a graph, the easiest way to go is to use the vertical line test. Is the relation a function? Use the vertical line test. So we have a segment going from this point to this point, all included, so that's the real numbers. So you can't name all the numbers here. So the easiest way to say it's yes is a function, and the reason, because the vertical line intersects at only 1 point. So the vertical line, or by the vertical line test, the vertical line intersects at only, or you could say any vertical line that you draw on this grid. That's in here now. Don't draw the vertical line out there because the graph is not out there. Any vertical line intersects at only 1 point. PT for point. Doesn't intersect at 2, so it's a function. Now we have number 2. So if I draw a vertical line here, let's draw this one. If I do, then it intersects here and here. So this vertical line intersects at 2 points. I could draw this vertical line intersecting here and here. Reason I use these because I can see these. This is a good point. This point here is 1, 1. This point here is 1, -1. So I can see the coordinates easy. But when I go out here and draw the vertical line, then I got to guess what these coordinates are. But here I can see these 2 good points. I can see these 2 are good points. I can see these 2 are good points. So is this a function? No, because the vertical line, by the vertical line test, the vertical line intersects at, and name 2 of the points. And we could use, you have this one, we got x is 0, y is 2. X is 0, y is -2. So that's 2 good points to pick because you can see x is 0, 2, -2. And number 3, we have, notice we have a horizontal line going on and on forever to positive infinity to negative infinity. So is it a function? The answer is yes. Why? Because the vertical line, which goes like that, will only intersect at 1 point. So the vertical line intersects at only 1 point. So it's a function. Doesn't intersect at 2 or more. Number 4, draw a vertical line. So this starts here and curved loops this way. It's not a line, it's a curve. And we draw a vertical line, 1 point, 1 point, 1 point. No matter what vertical line we draw, we only have cutting it, the graph at 1 point. So this is a yes. And we say what? Same statement right here. The vertical line intersects at only 1 point. So that's why this is a function. Number 5 is a little bit different. We have a line, y equals 2x plus 1. Well, we have a line, the slope is 2, and the y-intercept, which is the b, so y equals mx plus b. My y-intercept is -1, so let's graph the y-intercept first at a -1, right there. And the slope is 2, which is 2 over 1, so up 2, right 1. Up 2, right 1. So the line that I have here is drawn to all of those points. There's the line. Oops, off a little bit there. So there it is there, going through all those points. So what we have is a line that is, it's a function. Why? Because the vertical line drawn at hitting this line at any vertical line, this line keeps on going on, up and down. If it goes to the right, it's going to positive infinity. If this line is, if I'm going this way, then the line keeps going to negative infinity for the x, negative infinity for the y. So yes, this is a function because the vertical line intersects only at one point. So rather than write that out, I'm going to say the vertical line intersects the graph. Let's put the graph here at only one point. But I had to graph this line first to show you that this line right here is a line. This is a segment, but two of them are doing the same thing. And let's continue. Let's see what we got on the next page. I like to do different variations of the questions to make sure you understand. Is the relation a function using the vertical line test? Okay, notice what we have here is a beautiful circle. And because it's a circle, then what happens when I draw a vertical line? If I draw a vertical line right here, it intersects the circle at this point and this point. Or I have many, many, many points on this circle. I could take these two good ones right here. I could take these two. But let's just take this one right here and this one. Or I could take this one. I could take any one that intersects. These two are good. You can see them. These two are good because you can see where they cut. So there's many ordered pairs here that's good to pick out in relation to being on a line. So is this a function? And the answer is no, because the reason is the vertical line passes through 2 points. And again, name the points and name any point you wish. You can name these two here. That's a 0, 5, 0, negative 5. But right now I'm going to say x is 4, y is 3. And right here, x is 4, y is negative 3. So that's why it failed the vertical line test, because the vertical line passes through 2 points. Number 7, we have a set notation. Let's read it out. It's a set of all x and y such that x equals y squared. And negative 2 less than or equal to y less than or equal to 2, where y belongs to the integers. Now, normally you don't see equation written like this, but I did it this way because you don't have enough experience with quadratics to do this. But I made this equation hopefully so you can see. You will encounter this later, but not right now. But it says it's the y values from a negative 2 to a 2. So let's take the y values from negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, 2. Notice they're integers, so that's why I picked the negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, 2 for the y being integers. And if I take those x values and plug it into this equation, so the equation is x equals y squared. So I'm going to put a negative 2 in for x. So what happens? If we square a number is positive, so we can't use this negative 2. We can't use that x is negative 2. We can't use negative 1. Negative 1 equals y squared. Because when you square a number, it's not negative. But we can use 0. So really, the person making up this question could have said 0 less than or equal to y less than or equal to 1. So let's not use the negative 2 and negative 1 because we can't. So let's use a 0 for x. So x is 0. We put 0 in the place of x. What number do you square to give you 0? And the answer is 0. Let's put 1 in the place of x. 1 equals y squared. So what number do you square? Oh, now, look what I did. Look what I did. Now, see? we're so used to putting in the values of x. This is the y values that got to be -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, not the x values. This is the y values that I got to put them in for. Now I got to work out what x is. So when x equals y squared, so x is equal to -2 squared, and that gives me -2 times -2 is 4. And x equals -1. -1 squared, -1 times -1 is 1. X equals 0. Sorry, y equals 0. Better be careful. I get a 0. X equals 1 squared. 1 squared is 1. X equals y is 2, so 2 squared is 4. So, apologize. When I put it in for x, I wasn't careful enough. This is the y values that I had to put them in for to come up with the x values. Let's plot these integers. I have x is 4, y is -2. That point. X is 1, y is -1. When x is 1, y is negative. X is 1, y is -1. When x is 0, y is 0. When x is 1, y is 1. When x is 1, y is 1. When x is 4, y is 2. X is 4, y is 2. Again, this is a different equation, and I put the y's in first to come up with the x's. But notice that this has, for the vertical line test, this is not a function because these 2 points are on the vertical line. This one and this one are on this vertical line, and these two right here are on this vertical line. So is this a function? No. Reason? Because the vertical line passes, P-A-S-S, passes through, and just name 2 points. And I could name these two here. So that's 1, 1, or it could be 1, -1. So that's or I could use these two. But as long as I have 2 points that the vertical line passed through, that says it's not a function. I apologize for putting in the x's first because that's what we're used to. But I made up the question to put in the y's first to come up with the x's to show you that it's not going to be a function. Anyway, that brings us to the end of this video. If you like my video, click the like button. And click the subscribe button if you're not a subscriber. Click the notification bell because there are more videos coming your way. And write a comment on my video if you wish. And visit my math website, www.mathfullyexplained.com. 3 sections: me, my degrees and teaching experience. The video section talks about the strategies you're going to use to help learn your math. The content section talks about the topics on my YouTube channel and the number of videos on those topics. The black font, it's what's there already. And the red font is what will be there in the near future. Thank you for viewing my video. Bye-bye.